That is 070 144 75770. What do we do? That's the question Tayo is asking. On X, Adegboyega Shegun David says, "Hello, the radio man. All that was recovered by the recovery agencies are being relooted. We know what happened during Bauer's reign. Who will save Nigeria from looters and relooters?" That's
Good
another
morning,
question.
Radio Man.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. I'm Ibrahim calling from Mokola.
Good to have you.
It's my pleasure calling for the first time on radio station and getting through. Good morning.
Thank you.
In fact, we really appreciate your voice. If I didn't listen to this program each Saturday, it's like something is missing in me. In fact, you are indeed doing a great job. May the good Lord continue to bless you, more wisdom, knowledge, and understanding.
Thank you.
Sir, the fact is that this government, what I discover, the more another regime take power, the more the government gets worsened. You can imagine, during the era of Goodluck Jonathan, things were not so bad as it is during the era of General Muhammadu Buhari. General Muhammadu Buhari handed over to Emilio Khan. Look at the situation of things today. Family of 4, let's say family of 5, 100,000 naira cannot feed a family of 5 in a month. This present situation. The way things are skyrocketed in the market is beyond everybody. But we just pray and hope Almighty God will keep providing for us. As regards to what you just said, that what is the assurance that if the money that are being looted during the era of Buhari, if they are being recovered, what's the assurance that they won't loot it again? That question speaks volumes. It's a very good question. We just hope and pray that we get it right in this country.
Thank you.
That's my take.
Thank you.
Good morning, sir. Because
Thank you.
these leaders, we don't know the kind of, what do they expect from the younger generation that are coming up. They are supposed to lay a good example for us, but so disappointed.
Thank you for
Good Lord
calling.
continue to bless us in this country.
Thank you. Yes,
Really
that's that
appreciate
caller
it.
there. Thank you. Thank you for calling the radio station. He has voiced his concern about the state of affairs in Nigeria. Are you on X? You can watch me on X. We are streaming on X. We are streaming on Facebook. We are streaming on LinkedIn, and we are streaming on YouTube. So, join me on X and let's retweet as we watch. If you look at my X account, you'll discover I'm also updating you on historical happenings that have shaped the future of Nigeria. Historical happenings that explain why we are where we are. And one of that historical happening has to do with what happened in the Western region from 1959 to 1966. That is the Western region crisis. And it was a crisis between Obafemi Awolowo and his deputy, Samuel Ladoke Akintola, that crisis in the Western region went a long way in shaping Nigeria's future. That crisis in Yoruba land is connected to the Nigerian Civil War. That crisis in the Western region led to the first military coup in Nigeria. And Femi Kehinde wrote a book entitled Samuel Ladoke Akintola in the Eyes of History. That book is also the history of post-independence Nigeria. So what I have done is to interview him. So if you go on my X account, you will see that we are on part 6 of the story. You have to follow the Femi Kehinde story on X. If you go on X now, we are on part 6. And by the end of today, we should be on part 10. So go on X, listen to that story, retweet it. It's a story about Nigeria's future. And after Femi Kehinde, we'll move to another historical story. You will also find those stories on my Facebook account, on Instagram. If you go on Instagram, you also find the Femi Kehinde story. Are you on TikTok? I think on TikTok, we are even done with the Femi Kehinde story on TikTok. On TikTok, we are faster on TikTok. So if you go on TikTok, we are done with part 10 of the Femi Kehinde story. In fact, we are done with part 12. On TikTok, we are even done with part 12 of the story, political lies and lying to the Nigerian public. Obasanjo's lies, Babangida's lies, and Abacha's lies. That lecture, that historical lecture, I had Professor John Ayuade telling the story. So if you go on TikTok, we are done with part 12 of that. The point I'm making is that these historical analyses are now posted on my social media pages. And you are good to go. Listen to them. It gives you a broader understanding of Nigeria's problems. More historical stories are coming. During the week, I'm going to do about 3 recordings in State Affairs Studios. They are about the analysis of the past. And don't miss those analyses. You can watch the full video on my YouTube channel. Just search for Edmondo Bilo on YouTube. You have the full videos. That's where I post the full videos without cutting. So just search for Edmondo Bilo on YouTube. We are talking about looting and relooting of Nigeria's treasury. Yes, we are streaming. So retweet, share as we go. Retweet the stories and share. Invite your friends to join the class. Talking about the psychology behind government officials in Nigeria looting the national treasury. I make the point that it is a complex interplay of various factors, including greed, impunity, and a lack of accountability. For many officials, the allure of easy wealth and power outweighs their sense of duty to serve the nation and its people. The pervasive culture of corruption, which has seeped into every facet of Nigerian society, further perpetuates this behavior, normalizing unethical practices and eroding moral values. And Tinubu does not appear to have the image to bring back moral values into politics. His administration can investigate, can arrest, but I have not seen those fundamentals that prove that change is coming. The political culture is getting more dirty. You know, political culture determines the morality of the state. When the political culture is such that criminals can invade polling stations with guns and threaten those who want to vote against them to disappear or they are dead, where ballot boxes are stolen, where electoral officers are corrupt, where the judiciary is complicit, where the police is a cesspool of corruption, where the army's morale is affected by the corruption of its top officers, where the family is broken, such political culture cannot produce a moral politics, a politics of redemption. So what you see is when you have anti-corruption agencies arresting the corrupt, it becomes the corrupt arresting the corrupt, thus further perpetuating the corruption it was meant to tackle. For you to solve such a problem, the leadership must come to equity with clean hands. If it is not done, they will be stage managing the fight against corruption, find one or two scapegoats that are not in their camps, and the trend will continue. The consequences of this rampant looting of the national treasury are dire and far-reaching. It deprives the country of the much-needed resources that could be invested in critical infrastructure, health care, education, and other essential services. I'm happy President Tinubu is in Doha. He has traveled to Qatar. I'm happy he's there. I wanted to see Qatar. I wanted to sleep in Qatar. I wanted to take a boat into the Persian Gulf. I wanted to feel the heart of Qatar. You see, Qatar's story is a reminder that progress is possible when fueled by vision, planning, and a collective determination to rise above chaos. Qatar is beautiful. Qatar is organized. Huh. You see, in the heart of the Arabian Gulf lies Doha. You know, Doha is Qatar. Qatar is a small country. So let me use Doha to represent Qatar. So Doha is a city that emerged from the sands of history to become a beacon of progress and prosperity. President Tinubu is in Doha. He's in Doha. I know he would see. And the Doha that I talk about is a Doha that was built in the last 15 years. I'm not saying built centuries ago. They just hosted the World Cup. 15 years ago, their international stadium, or the international airport was like the Murtala Mohammed Airport. But within a 15-year period, they did what you call total transformation of Doha. Founded in the 1820s, it was until 1971 that Doha claimed its place as the capital of Qatar, marking the nation's independence from British rule. Doha's rise as the main financial hub of Qatar is nothing short of remarkable, with over 80% of the country's population now calling it home. What was once a modest offshoot of Al Bida has transformed into a beta-level global city recognized for its economic prowess by the Globalization and World Cities Research Network. As we reflect on Doha's journey, Nigerians are urged to look inward, seeking inspiration from the city's success. Imagine our chaotic cities like Ibadan undergoing a metamorphosis, surpassing expectations in architecture, management, and organization. It starts with recognizing the potential within our own borders. It seems we have lost confidence in ourselves. When I posted the video of my trip to Qatar and I was showing the city of Doha, 80% of the comments said, no way, it can never happen in Nigeria. That Nigeria can never be Doha. Never. That I should forget it, that I'm dreaming. That's how. You see, Doha showcases the power of vision and strategic planning. Its commitment to education is evident in Education City. We are not yet serious about education. Doha is an Arab nation. It's not a democratic country. It is governed by a monarch. Get the point? It's an Islamic country. You see, Doha has an education city, a hub dedicated to research and learning. Why Hamad Medical City? It's also a medical city that stands as a testament to the prioritization of healthcare. You know, here, Governor Makinde is talking about a new city around Akinyele. I took a walk around that axis, and I'm saying, you have land speculators everywhere. You know, it's like a big deal now. Everybody's selling land. They are messing up all the land. And government is watching. Unplanned sales. So even that zone that Shey Makinde is talking about, new cities, and I can tell you, people are selling all the lands around that area. You begin to ask, is there a coordinated approach for development? Even look at the way we are building. Unplanned buildings. Perhaps Shey Makinde is looking at estate development in a new way. If you go to places like Elebun, they should be finer than Bodija because they are new areas. They should be planned. But if you go to those areas, they are now scattered settlements. That is not Doha. You want to go to Doha? Tinubu is in Doha. You see, you have the Hamad International Airport, one of the best airports in the world. In that airport, you don't mind even spending 20 hours waiting to catch your next flight. It's so comfortable. It's beautiful. And it's oil money. Oil money. Doha has oil. You see, Hamad Medical City in Doha stands as a testament to the prioritization of healthcare. The Aspire Zone, with its world-class sport facilities, demonstrates the importance of investing in recreation and wellness. When Bodija was designed, there were football fields, basketball courts that were created. What happened? They've sold those play arenas to people and they have built residential houses. Businesses are moving into the streets. So unplanned. Our children have nowhere to play, no football fields. So all we tell our children is read, read. Yes, reading is part of it. But we need to build children that are all-rounders. Exercise, entertainment, health care. Our cities are ugly. Nigeria, like Doha, has the potential to harness its resources, both human and natural, to create transformative change. By identifying and supporting visionary leaders within our own communities, we can lay the foundation for a brighter future. Let Doha's success serve as a reminder that greatness can arise from the most unexpected places, and with determination and unity, Nigerian cities can indeed become symbols of progress and prosperity. Mr. Governor, the new city you talk about in Akinyele must happen. It is a social contract with the Oyo State people, and you cannot renege, Mr. Governor. Let me also make this point. We need to strengthen our institutions by implementing robust anti-corruption measures and strengthening institutions responsible for oversight and accountability. These are crucial steps. This includes empowering anti-corruption agencies, reforming judicial processes, and promoting transparency in government operations. We need to promote ethical leadership. Leaders must lead by example and demonstrate unwavering commitment through ethical behavior and integrity. Public officials should be held accountable for their actions, regardless of their status or political affiliations. But the dirty politics we play will not allow that. Somehow, we need to make things right. We need to foster a culture of transparency. We must invest in education and awareness, educating the people about the detrimental effects of corruption and promoting ethical values from an early age can help foster a culture of integrity and accountability. We need awareness campaigns, civic education programs, and community engagement initiatives. They will play a vital role in changing the mindset of Nigerians. The radio man is here. It is Splash 105.5 FM, the Integrity Station. Remember, we are streaming on Facebook. We are streaming on X. Are you retweeting on X? Retweet as we go. Take the message to the world. Leave your messages for me on my social media platforms. I can see the X guys are retweeting, but we need to retweet more so that this message will touch the nooks and cranny of Africa, of the world. Hey you, stay tuned. It is Splash 105.5 FM.
Welcome to Brownview Farms. We're into vegetable production. Basically, tomato. We'll be having tomato factory here. We want to convert our tomato to tomato powder of different spice, just like you have the jollof and the likes. So for the first phase for that, we're having a 160 meter by 48 meter greenhouse where we are currently. This particular section where we are is the nursery that will cater for the seedlings for the tomato. So beside us to our left, we have the spans where we'll grow the tomato. We are at 96% completion for the greenhouse. In 2 weeks' time, we should have the nursery set up actually. So, and nursery phase usually take a month for tomato, 28 days to 30 days. After that, we transplant to the greenhouse. Then behind the greenhouse we also have the banana and plantain open feed production, because we intend also having banana where we also convert the banana to banana powder. Also here in this place, we'll have the factory within. So we're not taking any raw material outside. So currently we have this greenhouse as phase 1. Beside it, we have greenhouse 2 and greenhouse 3, which is still under construction.
You are building more greenhouses?
Yes, we are. So this is the first one. This is 7,680 meters square. So we have another 7,680 meters square. 2 of that also coming soon. The foundation is already ongoing. So if we can walk towards there, you'll see that. The cooperation of the government also to the sector, to agri sector, also attracted us, because I remembered I was part of the team that came to look at the environment when we were looking for land. We searched other places. In fact, the road was terrible then, but the governor assured us that the road will be fixed. And after some months that the road was commissioned, we were happy, because from Oyo to this place you spend more than 1 hour before you get here. So initially, we didn't actually want it to come, but our chairman said no. The governor has assured that this place will be good for us, and so far so good. It was actually.
So you are enjoying this place now?
We are. We're enjoying the road, the community, the people, and the infrastructures being given to us. We are. This is called a cooling pad. So it's a recirculatory system unit where it sucks in water from this is an underground storage or water storage unit. It pumps, the water comes into the cooling pad and flows back again inside. So as the cooling pad is working, the fan, the heat extractor, extracts heat. Then it draws in the coolness of the water to itself. So it makes the whole system very cold. It's hot because the shade net has not been fixed. That's number one. Then it's the covering is actually nylon. So that's the shade net over there. So we are fixing that. So we are fixing it step by step. We did that yesterday night. We finished around 3 a.m. because we can't work in this heat also. So we work early in the morning and in the night.
Have light?
We put on generator for now. The banana and the plantain, the intention is to convert them to powder, because exporting banana either to the UK or the European countries takes, using the ship takes about 1 month, and before it gets there, your banana starts deteriorating, because banana is a climateric fruit. So the easiest way to do is to convert them before you export them. So, and the idea is we'll convert to powder. Powder stays longer, keeps longer, and you can keep over time. Now, those that uses the banana, more of the banana powder are the cosmetics, especially for the women products. This is more for facials and others. Then the pharmaceutical industries also use it, and some other companies. So our intention is we have a factory here within us here. We plant, we harvest.
Let's go on Facebook. I can see John Paul Azuka is on Facebook. He says Nigeria is an eyesore. No. Is he an eyesore? It's not an eyesore. Yes, things might be bad, but eyesore. That's too hard. Because whatever Nigeria has become is also your responsibility. It's not just the responsibility of leadership alone. It's also your responsibility. John Paul Azuka says, right from the regime of Abacha to date, all we hear from every administration is loot and relooting. Under Jonathan, Nigeria got back Abacha loot. Jonathan boys relooted it. Under Buhari, EFCC chairman recovered looted funds. And same money got missing. Tinubu administration has already started with ministers looting. Nigeria is a movie theater and a laughing stock. Hopefully, we get a true leadership that won't loot our treasury someday. That is John Paul Azuka on Facebook. Yinka Adebanji Adeyemi says, federal government should chase them and bring them to book. Very heartless people. You are wondering what are people commenting on? If you're on social media, if you're on Facebook, if you are on X, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, you're on YouTube, you can join the broadcast. Don't forget that we are also streaming on State Affairs app. We are streaming on State Affairs app. So you can download the app on Google Play Store and Apple Store. We are streaming on Splash FM Facebook page. Go on the page, join the streaming on Splash FM Facebook page. If you go on Splash FM website, you can listen to the program live. So go on the website and listen live. The Vanguard reports that what is now known is that billions of dollars were made away with by some players in the Buhari administration. I'm reading from the Vanguard now. Whatever you think you have heard before now would peter into insignificance in the face of what is being discovered, the source said. But it all first started as an unverified and unverifiable report that some powerful and influential operators close to President Buhari had become stupendously rich at the expense of Nigeria's treasury. The Vanguard continues, well, after weeks of investigation, Saturday Vanguard can indeed confirm that billions of dollars have been traced to certain individuals. A source privy to what is going on said that some of the figures you get to hear are troubling. What does anybody want to do with $6 billion? What does anybody want to do with $8 billion? These figures are something else. And you also know what happened to the dollar? Some of these guys stole so much naira, and they used the naira to buy the dollars and hide them somewhere. The dollars are not in the banks. And it's not just, I think it's the tradition of politicians. You know, they have banks in their homes. It is that bad. You know, they are stockpiling money. And some of this money, some persons will never discover them. They will be, what do you want to do with 8 billion and you are hiding it? Is it not madness? Even Tinubu is guilty. Atiku Abubakar. In here some weekend, you saw the way they were displaying dollar at the primaries. Where did the dollars come from? The banks are guilty. The banks are in it. The bank top guys are destroying the Nigerian economy. The banks are destroying the economy. They are top guys. In collaboration with the political leaders. They are messing up the country. Nigeria needs redemption. And the same guys are still in power. Is it Akpabio that we check it? Akpabio as governor of Akwa Ibom State was a dollar man. Is it Akpabio that we check it? The political leaders need to call themselves and say, okay, it's enough. It is time for redemption. It's enough. Just say it's enough. Okay, we have done enough. Let's fix it. They need to tell themselves that. At the end of the day, you can't spend the money. What do you want to buy? You have 20 billion. What do you want to buy? You can see the likes of Bill Gates. They are giving out their money to different foundations. You can't spend it now. Put it into production. Most of the research going on in Africa are sponsored from billionaires outside Africa. If you are a researcher, you know what I'm talking about. Every researcher, even Nigerian students, are all looking for scholarships from where? Abroad. That's what their billionaires are doing with their money, sponsoring innovation. In Africa, we are hiding ours. We are destroying our economy. How many of our billionaires are sponsoring research? Look at UI. There's no research going on. So most of the lecturers that have research funding, they are getting it from abroad. MacArthur Foundation, Ford Foundation. Our billionaires are just calling parties, dancing. Everybody's dancing. Everybody's dancing. After the elections in 2023, on April 15th, to be precise, I did a report that I titled Roadmap for the Future, and I was talking to Sheyi Makinde. On this edition of the program, I'm going to come back to that analysis. Roadmap for the future. It's not just Tinubu. The Makindes must live up to expectation. I don't mean, especially Governor Makinde must rise as a beacon of hope for the people of Oyo State and Nigeria in general. He has the potential to achieve that. He can finish the next 3 years as a visionary leader that can create a framework for the development of Nigeria. He becomes that example. And that is what I want from Governor Makinde, and that is what he will be. It is not optional. If he wants to relax, we will push him to fly. Makinde must fly like an eagle. We need an example of great leadership, and it can start from Oyo State. So I will go back to that roadmap. Look at this story. 2 weeks ago, a bill that can reshape the security landscape of Nigeria surged forward, capturing the attention of lawmakers and Nigerians. In a bold move aimed at decentralizing the Nigeria police and confronting head-on the spiraling security challenges gripping our country, the House of Representatives debated a bill seeking to amend the 1999 Constitution. This bill, titled a Bill for an Act to Alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, to provide for the establishment of state police and related matters, has ignited fervent discussions on the floor of the House and among Nigerians. Spearheaded by the Deputy Speaker, Benjamin Kalu, and supported by 14 other legislators, this bill proposes a seismic shift in the policing architecture of Nigeria. Under its provisions, governors would be vested with the authority to appoint commissioners of police to helm the newly envisaged state police forces. The urgency of this amendment cannot be overstated, given the relentless onslaught of bandits, kidnappers, and other criminal elements terrorizing our communities. Despite efforts by the police to stem the tide of crime, the reality remains stark. Citizens live in fear as violence ravages both urban centers and rural inhabitants. If you listen to that debate, Tolani Shagaya, representing Ilorin West as a federal constituency, articulated the imperatives of this bill. As I watched him, he underscored that the foremost duty of government, as enshrined in our Constitution, is the security and welfare of its citizens. So with our collective security under severe strain, the establishment of state police has become an imperative to complement federal efforts and restore safety to our land. Chief Funsho Abiri, it's good to have you on State Affairs.
Thanks for having me.
Chief Abiri is a public analyst, co-founder of Special Partners of Tinubu Sport. He is the President, Chief Executive Officer, Nigeria USA Export and Investment Group. State Police, the House of Reps, is in motion. How do you feel about that?
Great that they are on motion. But if you look at what they are doing, it's like trying to water down a little what we actually meant by state police. It's not just enough to say the governor will appoint the commissioner. Officers and men of the state police will come from that state. What they still want to do is to just make the governor appoint the commissioner. Is it the commissioner that will be policing your streets? No. Beyond that, the state police should be done holistically. But one thing I like about that is this. 2 days ago, the President Tinubu was in Akure, and luckily I was there. He said that the issue of police, state police, is already discussed with all the governors, and they have all agreed to set up a state police, the type we all Nigerians will like. That personnel of the state police will come from that state. It will take away, the insecurity will diminish almost to zero. Workers within that force, I mean the policemen and officers themselves, will come from that state, and they will be more loyal to the state, because they know maybe the next person who will pass through that street where they are is their brother or their sister or relation. So that's the effect of state police.
But does the person necessarily need to come from the state? The states should be able to appoint or employ its own police force, whether the person is from that state or not, but the state is in control. Is that not the essence of state police? What about a Yoruba, an Hausa boy that was born in Oyo State? Are you saying he cannot be part of Oyo State Police?
And if somebody born in Oyo State, is he not an Oyo man? He's an Oyo State man. In fact, he's a bona fide indigene of that state.
Even if he has been here for 5 years, and you understand?
Yes, that. Why not?
So that's I needed to clear that point.
You are right, absolutely correct. Absolutely.
Now let's go back to what the House of Rep is saying, because I've read part of the bill. It is about the alteration to Section 214 of the Constitution, which pertains to the establishment of federal and state police. Chief Abri, listen to this.
Okay.
The proposed changes aim to delineate the roles and responsibilities of the federal and state police forces, ushering in a new era of security governance. Under the proposed amendment, Section 214, subsection 3A meticulously outlines the jurisdiction of both federal and state police entities. The federal police, its decrees, shall uphold public security and order across the federation, while state police forces shall assume similar duties within their respective states, subject to constitutional provisions. So they are different. The states are in charge of their police.
That's right.
That is what the House of Rep is debating.
That's right.
So the governor is in charge of his police.
That's right.
Crucially, the bill underscores the principle of non-interference, affirming that federal police shall refrain from meddling in the affairs of state police, except in dire circumstances where public order faces imminent collapse and state authorities solicit federal intervention. Now, one area, there's also going to be the Police Service Commission. Each state will have a Police Service Commission, and the chairman of the Police Service Commission of each state will be a member of the Federal Police Commission. Now, the complex issue here is that the governor can appoint the commissioner, but he cannot dismiss the commissioner just like that. He will have to go through a tougher process before he can dismiss the commissioner. In fact, it will now go through the National Police Service Commission before the governor can dismiss the commissioner. You want to make some comments here?
Excuse me. You see, the nitty-gritty of setting up the state police is still being worked out.
Yes.
And that's one of the areas you mentioned. A governor that has the power of hiring can as well institute a dismissal.